What up, brawlers? Welcome back to Throwin Hands. 3 weeks off. I feel like we needed it because I'm ready to talk. I felt like we were just going through the motions, but I'm ready to go. How about you, Breck?
Pumped up. Yeah, it's been a while. Just if you're watching, bear with me. I got some teeth removed, so I'm just icing them up. But no excuses. We're here.
Yeah, I do feel like the break was needed. I mean, that's 130 episodes in like 60 weeks.
I mean, Dan is still in and out of the shadow realm, so a little concerning, but he'll be out.
If you're religious, pray. If you're not, send some good vibes. I'm praying myself. So
I'm trying to hire somebody to get him out. But nobody. When I go to hire, when I ask people, they're like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "He's in this the other realm," and they're like, "Shut up," and they leave.
who would we hire? Walter White?
I don't know. That's a good it's a good question. Maybe we'll hire the same security people who caught that one streamer for the UFC.
The one guy.
Yeah, they caught the one guy. They could get back.
Speaking of illegal streamers, did you see that Triller pushed the date back a month to pay for the fight?
Yeah. Triller, I think, realized that they're in a losing battle.
Well, here's the thing: the max they can actually sue you for is $50.
They would never get it.
No, they wouldn't.
Can't prove what I did. I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything. Absolutely nothing. I'm innocent. But anyway, we'll get to some Paul stuff later. But we got this card, Breck. What are your thoughts?
I mean, what a card. Starting on the prelims are pretty awesome in their own right. Like that could be a undercard for the fight night, leading up to the main event. That's how good the prelims are. And I mean, the main card has so many talking points. I don't even know where to start. I mean,
all right, I kind of have an idea. So we're gonna go to the early prelims, and we're gonna choose one fight to each touch on. I want to touch on this Chase Hooper, Steven Peterson fight.
Well, I was gonna choose.
All right, perfect. Good for time. All right, but Chase Hooper, man, this is a tough challenge for him. I should share my screen real quick. Hold on. But this is a good challenge for him, I think. This guy's a bit more experienced, but this is not an easy matchup for Chase Hooper. What are your thoughts, Breck?
Yeah, I mean, the guy he's fighting, Peterson, I think this is like his 6th fight in the UFC, so he's got a little experience under his belt. And I mean, if you're
his tattoo is sick.
Yeah, I like the tattoo. Chase Hooper in his last fight, the heel hook submission, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that fight. I mean, Rogan was talking about it on the broadcast. Like Hooper was really losing that fight, like on the feet and getting out wrestled, and then last minute he pulls out a great submission to save a victory. So hopefully he's just improved by now that he looks a little better and doesn't have to, go for a Hail Mary submission to win.
Yeah, definitely. All right, prediction. I got Chase Hooper.
I'll go Hooper via sub again.
I like what he brings to the table. All right, we might as well just go through these prelims, to be honest. We'll touch on the first fight of the prelims. Movsar Evlov versus Hakeem Dawud. Two up-and-comers. These guys are good. They're both very, very good. And these guys are going to be title contenders for the next 2-3 years, I believe. What are your thoughts on these guys?
That's a bold statement right there. Yeah, both these guys don't have a lot of losses. It seems like Dawud, he's from Canada, I believe, right?
Yes.
He seems to like striking more than grappling and wrestling. And I mean, who did he beat in his last fight?
Let's take a look. He beat Tukugov.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that was a good fight. He looked good in that fight. Not thinking about it, but it's a tough one because I don't know much about Evlov or whatever. Movsar.
Comrade.
Comrade. Yeah, just any Russian fighter, comrade. But it's a interesting stylistic if you look at matchup. If you look at stats, because Dawud likes to stand and this other guy likes to mix in the takedowns with striking, and he's never lost. So it's pretty interesting. But just based off, I haven't seen the other guy fight. I've seen Dawud fight his last fight, so I would lean Dawud in this one.
Yeah, I would too, but I'm not really gonna make a prediction here because I'm kind of conflicted on what to choose. Because these guys are both very good and very young, and I like them both. I think they're both very entertaining. All right. Rest in peace, Lauren Murphy. I believe. I think Lauren Murphy, I think she might be seeing Daniel in the shadow realm after this fight. Say hi to Daniel for us, Lauren. But Breck, what do you think about this fight?
Yeah, I mean, she's a pretty good fighter by all means. I just think Joanne Calderwood has looked really good in her last couple fights. And I mean, she did get submitted by Jennifer Maia.
That was a stupid fight for her to take.
That was a very stupid fight for her to take. But I mean, if you look at her wins and even her losses recently, they're pretty decent. And I mean, just her last fight, she looked so much better on the feet, like the improvement, and she hits pretty hard. So I think Murphy's got to be really, really defensive to have a chance in this one.
Takedown City.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, you saw what she did to Jessica. That was a beat down for 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And that, did you see who Jessica I is fighting? Jennifer Maia.
Yeah, that's not the best.
She's just gonna keep losing. But anyway, Lauren Murphy, you're not getting that title shot. I'm sorry, man.
I mean, she has 3 wins in 2020, Murphy.
Yeah.
But it's so tough when you fight that often to keep winning, you know? Like
yeah.
I think Tommy Green from last year had that great 3-stretch win, and then he loses the 4th one. It's just so tough to win them all, you know?
It is. But to the next fight. This fight was so awesome before Eric Anders landed that knee on Darren Stewart. So I don't think this fight will be nearly as good because they're going to be tentative, to be honest. Mm-hmm. But I hope they're not, because this is going to be an awesome fight regardless. What do you think, Breck?
Yeah, this is just jog my memory a little bit. Before the knee, where was the knee in the first fight? Like what round?
It was the first round.
First round. Was it like, there's so many fights in my head.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It was 4:37 into the first round.
Yeah, so we didn't really get to see much of these guys, but like you said, just from the little bit I can remember of this fight, I mean, it looked like it was gonna be a good fight through the first, you know. I mean, both these guys, Anders, you know, is kind of like a physical specimen, like, and you got to respect Darren Stewart. He's always willing to fight. It seems like he's on every card the last 2 years. So I'm just happy they ran it back so that we actually get to see how it plays out.
Yeah, speaking of good fight, what did you think of the Ponzinibbio Diaz fight last week?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was good for Ponzinibbio to get the win. What was he out 2 years with that injury?
Yeah,
injuries. So it was good to get him win, and you could understand why the other fighter, just drawing a blank on his name. You just said it.
Diaz.
Bear with me, folks. May not have taken some oxycodone, but he looked disappointed in the result, and it's tough. It's hard to blame him if you look on MMA verdicts scoring. I mean, I think it was like it was so close. It was razor close. So one of the fights of the year nominees.
Definitely. All right. Next fight, Drew Dober versus Brad Riddell. This could be a good fight. And looking at Drew Dober, I didn't realize how big his chin was, to be honest.
He's a massive lightweight.
Yeah, he's huge. But this has banger alert written all over it, in my opinion. I mean, you got anybody from City Kickboxing brings the heat. Let's be real here. And Drew Dober's no joke. This is going to be an awesome fight. What do you think?
Yeah, Drew Dober got manhandled by Islam Makhachev in his last fight. And it just showed his grappling deficiency, but we're not going to get that in this fight. We're going to get a stand-up war. And I kind of favor Riddell. You just look at Joe Dober's, career record. I know he's fought a lot more, so he has more losses, but I think Brad Riddell could be really good. I think, fourth fight in the UFC, and I've been watching Israel Adesanya's YouTube, and it's just Brad Riddell looks just like a savage on those clips. So I would have to favor Riddell, and I just think City Kickboxing guys are just
built different.
Just built different almost.
Yes, sir. All right. To the main card, to the first bout. Breck, do you want to roll us into this one?
Oh, I mean, this was originally scheduled for a different time, right?
Yes.
When it got canceled, I was devastated. And when they put it on this card, I couldn't have been more happier. I mean, Paul Craig might be one of my favorite fighters. One, because he's Scottish. I'm not Scottish, but it's just, Scotland.
It's a character thing.
It's a character thing, exactly. His nickname is the Bear Jew. He's a tall Scottish guy who just submits people. I mean, what else? What's not?
Braveheart.
Braveheart, exactly. Watch. You've seen it. Watch it again. You'd think he'd have to go to the grappling, the takedowns, and the submissions to win this type of fight because this Jamal Hill character is a scary prospect. I mean, he's young,
savage.
He's an athletic freak from all accounts, and knocked out Ovince St. Preux in her last fight. That's impressive. I know Ovince St. Preux isn't who he used to be, but he's still a pretty good fighter. So I think if Craig wants to stand up, he'll lose the fight. But I think if he tests Hill's ground game, he has a path to victory. It'll be a close fight. So
Paul Craig has to make it boring.
Yeah, Paul Craig should make it boring to win.
All right, predictions. I'm going Jamal Hill by knockout.
I think Craig will try to stand with him and then realize he shouldn't, and I think he'll take him down and submit him. I'll go Craig via submission, even though my head's telling me Hill will probably TKO him.
That's just what you want to happen.
That's what I want to happen, so I'm going with it.
All right. This is a good fight in itself. This could be a main event on a card. Damian Maia versus Bilal Muhammad. Cardio machine of Bilal Muhammad versus probably the best jiu-jitsu player to ever grace the octagon. I think that's pretty fair to say, to be honest. But what are your thoughts going in this one, man? I think this is a tough task for Bilal Muhammad.
It is. Who did Maia fight? He fought Gilbert Burns. I mean, that's
tough.
That's tough. I mean, his last two losses are Usman and Burns, so you really can't
blame him.
Can't blame him, exactly. So it's tough for Bilal with the eye poke in the last fight. But I just wonder if the age is really, catching up to Maia. If he's got to, take him down and go for submissions because that's his game. But if he tries to stand with Bilal, I don't love his chances. I just think Bilal's age will play a huge factor, and the younger guy will probably win. That's just how.
Yeah, and Bilal's a cardio machine, so
just keep a pace on him,
Yeah. Predictions. I'm gonna go Bilal Muhammad by decision.
Yeah, I'll go Bilal TKO in like the 4th or 5th round.
I'd love to see Maia win though.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
All right. To the people's main event.
1 second. It would be huge too if Maia. I mean, it's kind of his last chance to move up in the rankings in the sense that he's getting older, ranked number 9. If he somehow got the win, he could get like a top 5 guy next.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's say Leon Edwards loses. That's the fight.
Yeah.
That's the seed, as Joey Diaz would say. That's the seed.
That's the seed, yeah. Yeah, but this fight that we're about to talk about, this is the people's main event,
The people's main event. Leon Edwards versus Nathan Diaz. Leon Edwards coming off no contest. He believed he should have gotten the title shot off rip because of that no contest, but he's delusional.
So unlikable, man. I want to root for him, but he's just he doesn't know how to promote himself, and he says stupid stuff. I just wish somebody would get him some better management.
He needs a publicist.
He needs better, yeah. As much as we don't or I don't like Ali, he's a great guy in terms of managing fighters and putting a good image out for fighters. And it just seems like Leon has all the talent, except nobody knows. If I asked 20 people that I know who Leon Edwards was, they wouldn't know, who, you know what I mean? If I said who's Nate Diaz, a couple would know.
Well, I think, Diaz doesn't even promote himself. He's just a character.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about this fight. I think this is a tough challenge for Leon Edwards because Nate Diaz is as durable as can be, and I think Nate Diaz's ground game is so incredibly underrated. He's a second-degree Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt. What more do you really want from a guy on the ground? But Leon Edwards, if you go forward against him, get into his range, you're going through a wood chipper. What are your thoughts, man?
I think this will be a Masvidal type fight where Nate takes a lot of damage, but then Leon maybe gasses himself out and Nate starts pouring it on, because a lot of people don't realize in Nate's last fight, even though he was getting pieced up, he was the fresher fighter there in the 4th round before the cut stopped everything, and he started to land too, big shots before that fight got stopped. So I don't know. If you're Nate, you got to think the only way he's going to beat a Leon Edwards is through submission. You would have to, but Leon looked, I know the eye poke thing was bad, but he looked so good in that first round, right?
Yeah.
And he's been just training for 2 years nonstop. He's in great shape. It's tough to see Nate win. I want Nate to win, but it's really tough to see him win.
All right, predictions. What's yours, Breck?
I'll go Leon Edwards via decision.
Nate Diaz, submission. Screw it.
That's what my heart wants, but it's just too, it's too tough to call.
I agree. But this is the fight I'm looking forward to the most. Davis Figareto versus Brandon Moreno. I fear for Brandon Moreno, to be honest, because Davis Figareto was in the hospital literally 15 hours before their last fight.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be 100% here. I think Brandon Moreno is going to die within the first 2 rounds. What do you think?
I just rewatched the first fight yesterday because I knew we were talking about this, but yeah, Moreno even said afterwards, he's kind of playing up this injury, and if you watch the UFC embeddeds, the Figareto team is very angry that he said that. So it's Davis Figareto doesn't need more motivation to be a savage. He's such a beast already. And a lot of what I've watched from his training and stuff too is they want to get back more to his roots and go for more submissions instead of just standing all the time. So like you said, I think Moreno is a great boxer and he'll fight a good fight, but I think Figareto is going to look to use his jiu-jitsu more in this one.
Yeah. And Figareto says if he wins this, he wants to move up and get the other belt.
Figareto versus, I'm I mean, it's Sterling now, but it'll be Jan again. But we both agree Jan's like the champ of that division. But
Yeah, that was a beatdown, man.
he was about to knock out Sterling like seconds. If he doesn't throw the knee, he knocks out Sterling within like 30 seconds. I think.
I agree.
But Figareto versus Jan would be like the super fight we need, you know? Because they're stylistically, it's so interesting to see how Jan would deal with a Figareto and vice versa.
Imagine the violence.
But the pure violence too, just unbelievable.
All right, predictions. I'm going Davis Figueiredo by knockout, second round.
I'll go Figareto via submission, 4th round.
I think if it goes 5 rounds, Brandon Moreno is not going to look pretty.
No, I mean his arm was really messed up by the time the last fight ended.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. But the main event of the evening, Israel Adesanya, as he says, versus Marvin Vittori, as Darren Till says. If Darren Till won this last fight, if got healthy and won the last fight, we would have been seeing Darren Till here. But
I believe
that's not the.
I know it's a mute point, but Till would have beat Vittori in my opinion.
Yeah. But what do you think?
I think Israel Adesanya is going to knock this guy out. Similar to Paulo Costa type fight. I think Marvin's going to turn to wrestling. And I think Israel knows what Jan Blachowicz did to him in his last fight. And I think he'll be better prepared, know what to do on the bottom more, and get back to his feet and just piece up Vittori. Because on the feet, I mean, Vittori's fine, but he's not, you know what I mean? He's no Adesanya. And I mean, Vittori says he's the best, and yeah, you've had a really good stretch. But I mean, Carl Robinson, Jack Hermanson, Kevin Holland, good fighters, not the top 5. You know what I mean?
But my thing is he wrecked Hermanson on the ground.
And he wrecked Holland on the ground too, but Holland doesn't know what to do on the ground. So
yeah, but Hermanson does. He's probably the best grappler in the division outside of Vittori.
Sure, but he used a lot of his size and to negate a lot of what Hermanson's trying to do. And I think a lot of people are seeing the Jan fight and saying, "Oh, so if you just wrestle Izzy, you'll win." I don't think it's that simple, you know?
No.
Izzy's takedown defense is very good. It's in the upper, it's probably like high 90%, you know what I mean? And I think he'll know. I think he's been practicing wrestling a lot of jiu-jitsu. And I just don't like Vittori's chances on the feet. I mean, Kevin Holland was kind of piecing him up before, and then Vittori was like, I can't stand with Holland, so I'll just keep taking him down.
Yeah, but I think Kevin Holland's a little more awkward than Izzy.
That's true. But, I mean, is Kevin Holland the level of striker that Izzy is?
Probably not.
Probably not. And so Kevin Holland saw success. I think Izzy will see even more success. I think this is like Paulo Costa again,
I respectfully disagree. I think Vittori gets it done. Call me crazy, but
lay and pray.
Lay and pray. It's going to be boring as hell, but that's what's going to happen. I think.
I mean, that's his route to victory is wrestling, obviously, but I could see this almost being Izzy's like Chael Sonnen moment. This is all fictional. Chael Sonnen never really lost a round. What I'm about to tell you, right? Okay, but Chael Sonnen was, wrestling Anderson Silva for 5 rounds, was about to win the fight, and then got caught in a triangle, and supposedly lost. People show me footage of him losing. I don't believe it, but I think this could be his moment. Even if he's losing because of wrestling, I think Izzy will somehow find a way to win via submission. Gets back to the feet, knocks him out. I think Izzy gets it done.
Dude, if Izzy throws up a triangle, I'll be amazed.
I mean, the only time we've really seen him throw submission was against Gastelum, Threw a couple, but
Yeah.
not much else.
Speaking of Gastelum, he's fighting Cannonier.
That's a good fight.
Gastelum's got to win some fights, man.
I was about to say he can't lose this fight. It's great that you take these short notice fights, but like I know he fought Robert Whitaker and that's a different beast, but like
Well, this isn't really short notice. He has 8 weeks.
no, but if he wants to get up to that, spot he thinks he's at, he's got to see. You're right. He's got to start winning some fights. I mean, Cannonier is a beast, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he could have potentially. I mean, that first kick Rob threw broke his arm, and Cannonier fought the rest of the fight with a broken arm. So who knows? Yeah, exactly. Super tough, and who knows how the fight goes without a broken arm.
But we also got Darren Till versus Derek Brunson.
Yeah, I love that fight. I mean, Blonde Brunson is undefeated. Pretty good internet guy too. Pretty good follow. Surprising.
He's entertaining.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's kind of like Till, but just not on that level of Till,
But Till's been on a whole nother level lately.
I mean, he's the GOAT in my eyes. People call is he the internet kid? It's Darren Till, but Raw Dog. Shout out Raw Dog.
Raw dog.
Yeah, it's a great fight. I mean, you got to think the winner of that fight gets a contender shot, right?
I think if Till wins, he gets the title shot.
Brunson wins, he'll be on like a 5-fight win streak.
Yeah,
he's got a case too. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We got some stuff to talk about. We'll talk about Logan Paul first. Did you watch the Freak Show?
I did. I did not spend a cent on it though. Luckily, I like Khabib said, I used Russian link, brother. But I mean, what else is there to say really besides it was a bank heist on national television?
Dude, I don't get how Floyd Mayweather makes money so easily.
So easily.
Dude, so you know how I got the internship with the basketball tournament? Floyd Mayweather has a team in the tournament. It's called the Money Team.
That's funny. He also supposedly owns like 8 skyscrapers in New York, and then people were like, "Wait, really?" And then they're like, "This is public information. We can go check." And then people checked and were like, "Floyd, what are you talking? There's nothing here." So I don't know what Floyd's talking about, but
But did you see that Logan got knocked out?
Yeah.
Like came back to life.
Yeah. I mean, I think when he definitely got like flash knocked out, right? When he like hugged him that one time.
Yeah.
His eyes kind of rolled back a little bit, but Floyd's a genius. I know people hate him, but he's a genius.
He made $100 million.
He's probably one of the. It's crazy to say in the boxing world, he's probably like one of the smartest guys of all time. He's past his prime. He's fighting guys who don't really have a chance for loads of money. Genius move.
Hey Floyd, hit me up.
Yeah. I mean,
but
it's pretty. I mean, people were like, "Oh, Logan did well to survive," and sure, but do we care?
No. Speaking of people who don't know how to box, T Wood versus Jake Paul, I'm all for it.
This is, Ben Askren, all our hopes were on him. I told you if he lost, we would have to go into exile for a week, and you were like, he won't lose. He loses. This is it. This is the moment. If Jake Paul beats Tyron Woodley, we're done. The MMA community, 2-week hiatus, exile, can't be seen. If you talk about MMA, they need to arrest you, that type of thing. The whole sport is riding on this, a real fighter is actually gonna fight him. So
okay, Ben Askren is a real fighter.
Sure, but like he's the worst stand-up guy in the history of the sport, probably.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, now we have a guy who can actually throw punches, but you just hope Tyron can win.
Overhand right.
The overhand right, yeah. You know what's crazy too is like Jake is smart. He picked a guy who does one thing really well. Like Tyron doesn't throw jabs and hooks and crosses.
I mean, Jake Paul doesn't throw that either. He has an overhand right too.
Yeah, so we just hope the real fighter lands one and ends this Shabbat. Because if he wins another one, I mean, the train will just keep going. You know what I mean?
Who would he fight after T Wood if he won?
Probably like Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury would kill him.
Have you seen Tommy Fury's guys he's fought?
Yeah, but he's a real boxer.
That's true.
But dude, I think T Wood gets it done. He's training at Mundo Boxing right now. He's going to be training with Floyd very soon.
Let's hope. Well, let's hope, dude. Because, like I said, the whole MMA community is relying on Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, I think Logan Paul should go to Bellator.
Wouldn't be bad.
Coker wants to do it.
Coker would sign you up next week. I mean, if you got the chance.
Screw it. Why not?
I mean, you send Coker like a you hit in the mitts. Contract next day. So yeah, I could see Logan Paul. I could see him being in like an exhibition MMA match.
I could see him doing decent in MMA actually.
It's pretty big. He did his cardio would have to get better because he did gas out after that first like round against Floyd. He just threw.
He overtrained. He trained like a year and a half for that fight.
Yeah.
Oh, does Clarissa Shields get it done?
I think so. It's coming up, right? Was it 10?
It's in like 30 minutes.
30 minutes, yeah. I'm excited for that one. I saw this on Twitter and I agree. If she stops the first takedown, she'll win. Doesn't stop a takedown, could be a long
She's
night.
toast.
Yeah, that's how I think it'll go.
Yeah, but hey, props to her. Even if she loses tonight, props to her.
And I mean, I think she'll have success because Holly Holm, very similar boxer, has a pretty successful MMA career.
Yeah, she's one of the best. Did you see the GSP statue?
I did. Not a terrible statue in terms of like famous people statues, though. You know.
Yeah, I mean the Ronaldo statue is top tier.
But I had to redo it. Yeah, it's like,
man, this is crazy. I'm glad we're back. I think I think it was a good idea to go into exile. I think we realized we needed to do that after the Ben Askren fight. You know, it took us a couple weeks, but we needed to do it.
It had to be done, you know. Dude, this upcoming month of fights after this card too was just unbelievable.
Let's take a look. It's awesome.
Sent in a graphic. This whole month is pretty great.
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. I'll just go over all the main events real quick, guys. So Adesanya versus Vittori, Marvin Vittori.
York from Lord of the Rings.
Next week we got Korean Zombie versus Dan Ige.
What a fight. Sleep. It's a banger.
Then we got Gon versus Volkov.
Great fight.
July UFC events. I think there's a break, and then we got McGregor versus Poirier. On July 10th.
Yeah.
And then we got Holloway versus Rodriguez.
What a fight.
Dude, that's going to be awesome.
I get so excited. I mean, Connor and Max are two of my favorite fighters, so to have them in back-to-back weeks almost is just awesome.
And then you got Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw.
Another banger. Hopefully Dillashaw gets slept. You see that story about him like trying to like sneak in to watch Sandhagen spar and stuff?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, supposedly some guy like came into the Sandhagen's gym and was like, like just like recording him the whole day and stuff, and they figured out later that he was like a guy with Dillashaw's camp. Guy's a
Dang.
snake. Connor said it on Tough, and he's right. He's a snake in the grass, you know?
Stake in the grass. Oh man. But hey, we need more Darren Till memes ASAP.
Yep. Dude,
All right.
we got
All right, you got.
Fury Wilder to end the month. Crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
It's supposed to be Fury Joshua, then the whole judge court thing happened, and the rematch has to happen. And I don't know how you feel. I think it'll be much of the same.
I think it will be too.
I think Wilder will improve a little bit, but you just can't learn a better jab and stuff like. You can't become that much better of a boxer in that short a time to me, you know?
No, you can't. You really can't.
It takes like 5 to 10 years to become that much better. You know what I mean?
What has to happen is Wilder has to just try out there and just throw the straight right immediately.
Immediately. He's got to try and knock him out in the first. That's his best chance to win.
Yeah. All right. You got anything else to add?
We would be remiss not to mention the GOAT of MMA, the new GOAT of MMA.
Oh.
Take it away.
Hasbulla.
Hospilla. I mean, we thought they were, the first video, you're like, oh, it's kids. Then you just realize they're like 18, 19, 20-year-old.
No, Hasbulla's 18. The other one's a kid.
Oh, the other one is a kid. I'm pretty sure I saw another one that was also like 19. Yeah, I don't know. They suffer from, I think it might be like dwarfism. I don't know what it is. But regardless, the guy's awesome. I mean, if you haven't seen his Twitter account, follow him. He's posting just unbelievable videos on top of like, fancy cars and stuff. And I mean, the memes have been great, like the press conferences with Connor and Hupsula talking to each other.
The FaceTime with Kanye.
The FaceTime with Kanye. The one where the lady's like kicking the water bottle back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, what a legend.
My favorite is the selfie in the canyon behind, in the sunset behind him.
Guy's a legend.
Dude, he's driving a BMW. What?
Yeah. You know what's crazy too? The initial video that went viral and we all discovered this has more views than Khabib, Connor on their YouTube. It has like twice the amount of views in like 3 weeks. It's crazy.
Oh, is it the one when he just slaps the dude and runs away?
Yeah. That has more views than the number one UFC view in terms of views for the UFC.
Really? That's fascinating. Hasbulla. So funny. So funny. He's Dagestani, right?
I believe so.
He's a beast, man.
Built different over there, you know?
Yeah, they are built different. The face of the fight game. But does he beat Khabib?
Dude, those kicks he's throwing. Some of those punches, too, some power behind them shots.
Mm-hmm.
Could be tough. Could be a tough matchup for Khabib.
Yeah. All right.
Last thing, you see the Luke Rockhold and Bisping sparring? That was great.
It was great.
It was great to see. A lot of people were like upset. They're like, damn, I wish they just hated each other till they, I loved seeing them being like friendly.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like if that was boxing, they would not be cool,
Did you see that Bisping was offered to fight Jake Paul?
That would be a murder.
That would be a murder.
That would be a murder until I would pay for that one.
I would actually pay.
I would pay so Bisping gets more money,
Yeah. Bisping. And he'd beat him with one eye.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. That's all I got. Anything else?
Got nothing. I think we covered it all. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. All right. We'll see you for the review.